Person of the Year is Mrs. Eileen Arokos, and they were recognized last week at our board meeting. I'm going to invite our Director of Guidance, Kevin Farrell, to come and talk about some of the ways we support all students at MBTHS.
Have a bulletin board of things that people in the school, students, staff were grateful for, but we ended up having about 5 or 6. You can see them on your way out if you walk through the guidance hallway. And it was a really nice way for the school to share what they're grateful for, and just a positive way to approach mental health.
They have an opportunity each year to apply for the Honors and AP Challenge to be admitted into those level courses. We have seen growth in those programs, and we have seen growth in our AP course result. This year, last year, with the support of the Board of Ed, we became an AP capstone school, which means that we offer 2 high-level AP courses, AP Research and AP Seminar, and students who take both courses have the opportunity to, at the end, receive the AP Capstone Diploma, which is something very prestigious that they can put on their college applications. And this year's the first year that we will have students successfully completing the AP Capstone. We have had for quite a few years the dual enrollment program with Middlesex County College, where students in the high school can take courses that matriculate with Middlesex County College for a very reduced cost in credits. We started in 2018, 2019 with 3 classes offered in the building. We added 3 more in 2019, 2020, and we added 1 more this year, and we continue to work with Middlesex County College to add more courses for students to be able to earn college credit while enrolled at the high school. And what we like the most about these courses is most of them are not honors and AP level courses, they're college prep courses. So a student who takes our elective, our Holocaust elective, Dimensions of Prejudice in social studies class for $125 can earn college credit through Middlesex County College. And that's a college prep elective course for students to take. So that's just one example of some of the courses we offer. We have 2 more courses that are approved for next year. And we also have housed in our building a few days a week a college connections coordinator from Middlesex County College, Middlesex College, who will come and talk to our students about college and also about the possibility of enrolling at Middlesex. Our AVID program, Advancement via Individual Determination, we have grown that program to 8 sections in grades 9 to 12. The goal of that program is to take middle of the road students academically and push them to take courses that they probably would have never taken on their own coming into the high school, honors and AP courses, and ultimately for them to be accepted into a 4-year college or into enroll in the military. We have had a great success rate with those students. The first year, all 40 of our first AVID graduating class from 2020 were either accepted into the military or 4-year college, and this year we'll be graduating our 3rd AVID class. We also offer at MBTHS a STEM Academy, which is in year 4. Our first graduating class is this year. Our Business Academy has grown dramatically over the last 2 years. That's in year 3. We also offer a Humanities Academy. We are looking to expand in the future into fine arts as a potential academy. We also have the Rutgers Ruby program through the Rutgers Business School, where some of our students enrolled in the Business Academy get an opportunity to learn from Rutgers professors. They compete with other schools. They learn how to develop a business plan. They also get to speak to CEOs of companies. They learn from entrepreneurs with the goal in mind that those students in their senior year will apply and be accepted into the Rutgers Business School or any business school. So we're very excited to be a part of that program. There's only 5 schools in the area that are part of the Ruby program currently. This year, a team of Ruby students just finished 2nd in the competitions they hold at the end of the year. And we are very excited to share that we will be developing a new college connection next year with Kane University for our TV production course, the opportunity for students taking that course to earn college credit. It's been 2 years, and we ultimately learned, and if any of the students remember Mr. Salge, Mr. Salge was here for almost 4 years as our woodshop teacher, our industrial arts teacher. Mr. Salge was irreplaceable because for 2 years we couldn't find an industrial arts teacher to replace him. Only 1 college in the state of New Jersey at this point offers that major, so if any students work well with their hands, please go to the College of New Jersey. They're the only university in the state that offers that certificate anymore. But we are very excited that we have found an industrial arts teacher, and we will be able to run wood shop next year for the first time in 3 years. And then we are also planning as part of that for a new course called Geometry and Construction, where students will take a double period of geometry, and then they will also take a period working in the wood shop. The ultimate goal of that program is that they will build a home that will be sold to Habitat to Humanity. The reality is, it probably takes about 10 years to get that program going for that to happen. So we will not be building a house next year. Although we did take the trailers down on the side of the building, and there is a bit, when the roofing project is done, that will be an open space that maybe someday we can build a home. But next year, they'll start with a smaller culminating project. All right, and I think I have said enough, so I'm going to turn it over at this point to our last two presenters. First, Mrs. Dinley Palazzo, who oversees our clubs and activities, is going to talk a little bit about clubs and activities, and then Mr. Morell is going to bring us home with sports.
Good evening, everyone. We're very proud of our extracurricular activities and programs that afford opportunities and the opportunities that are afforded our students for participation in these programs. For the 29 years that I've been at the high school, I have been involved in one way or another with student activities. First, at the turn of the century, I was the advisor for the class of 1999, and I served in several capacities as a club advisor and also as student government advisor before ultimately becoming the administrator in charge of overseeing clubs and activities. My involvement in clubs and activities has enriched my MBTHS experience. It's afforded me opportunities to forge relationships with students and staff that I may never have otherwise been able to do. Whoops. What did I do, Mr. Neller? Just back there.
I'll just hit the
Forward arrow.
Just hit the arrow, the back arrow.
I keep hitting the back arrow. Just kidding. So the high school offers more than 36 extracurricular clubs and programs. We meet the wide range of student interest in several areas: in academic competition, in community service, leadership and government. We have fine arts programs. We have performing arts programs. We have clubs that meet the world, that represent our world cultures. We have business, journalism, and debate. I'm very happy that the Board of Education has approved for the upcoming year 4 new clubs that meet the changing interests of our student body. Our students participate in competitions for math, science, robotics, DECA, FBLA, and they also participate in local competitions for mock trial and Model UN. Painted Words, our literary magazine, is an award-winning publication. Our students, despite the restrictions of the pandemic, our club members continue to collectively complete thousands of hours of community service, and through a variety of fundraising events and activities, they raise thousands of dollars annually to benefit the community at large.
I'd like to thank the Board of Education Central Office staff for everything they've done for athletics this year, and of course to the families, most importantly to the coaches and the athletes for helping us have a wonderfully successful school year overall. This year, that won't work. This year we've had 620 student athletes across all sports, which is a pretty high number of athletes. That's our roster, so that was not who tried out, but rather who participated in athletics. Our varsity football team were state finalists this year. Girls lacrosse are GMC champions. Our baseball team were GMC champions, which is the first in the history of NBTHS. They were state sectional semifinalists, the most wins in school history, and at one point were ranked number 16 in the state by NJ.com. Our boys soccer team was GMC finalists this year. Our girls soccer team were semifinalists in the GMC. Boys volleyball took home a division championship. And our softball team won the GMC Invitational Tournament. Swimming was GMC and division sportsmanship winners. I think it's 10 out of 11 years they've pulled that down. Boys lacrosse were division sportsmanship winners as well. Boys track were also division sportsmanship winners. Boys lacrosse is so important, I put them on twice. So Coach Waddell, it was that big of a deal. Some coach successes. Coach Blevins for baseball, not only leading a historic season, but Division and GMC Coach of the Year, very well deserved, without a doubt. Coach Biolsi for boys volleyball, Division Coach of the Year. And Coach Liddy, boys soccer, who will be retiring this year, Division, GMC, and the Home News Tribune Coach of the Year. After 14 years, he has 162 wins, 7 titles, 4 division titles, a red division title, and a GMC title, as long as a sectional title in his 14 years here. So. We have some other accolades. Track, we have 8 track athletes who qualified for nationals, and numerous individual county and section champs. We have multiple wrestlers qualify for states this year. We had the first female wrestler state place winner. Her name will go on the banner this year as well. And we also had a male athlete compete in states. 5 athletes had all state recognition. 2 GMC sportsmanship athletes, 2 GMC scholar athletes, and 1 NJSIAA scholar athlete. We had 61 players make all division teams and 24 players who are all county. 12 student athletes committed to play at college, at the college level and pursue their educational careers. We also have 12 athletic interns who are working on a variety of tasks this year, from displays to social media to news articles. And we launched a new website, northbrunswickraiders.com. And for everybody out there, you need to follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and more importantly, make sure you download the North Brunswick Athletics app, which is new this year, all right, to get all our notifications. We want to promote that. We're also going to be adding some live streaming and possibly some online ticket sales next year to make this things a little smoother. So, and some of our highlights from some of our successful teams.
All right. So for more information, in addition to our school website about our school, please visit the MBTHS Friday folder, which you can find on the website. And I also look forward to seeing again the families and students of the class of 2022 next Friday, June 17th, 2022 at 1:30 p.m. at the Cure Insurance Arena in Trenton. Thank you. Should I shut this computer down, or we're good? All right. Do you need it? I know.
Athletes, we are going to be introducing individual athletes. If someone can grab those guys in the hallway, make sure nobody left.
Right now, we're going to next honor our school board representatives, our SGO president, Jayden Rojas, and SGO representative Gerard Montero. They could come up with their certificates. So every month at our board meetings, these two gentlemen came and sat on our dais, and provided us with a report about what's going on at the high school. They also had to sit through the rest of our meeting, which was incredibly exciting, and we know that that meant the world to them to hear everything that was going on and report back to the student body of the SGO. They will be getting a certificate, and I know they got something last night. They got a very special plaque from school boards, but even more importantly is your name badge from the dais. So that's Gerard's and Jayden. And thank you so much for everything you did. We really appreciate it. Thank you, and best of luck. Our next presentations will be the Spring Sports Awards, and we just have a few of those. I think my secretary spent the last 48 hours putting together certificates for everybody, and Mr. Rell is going to come and lead that process.
Thank you. What I'll do is I'll introduce the teams, and the coaches can come on up, say a few words as they introduce their individual athletes, and the coaches can also pass out the awards to each individual athlete. If the athletes can just stand in the front until we're done with the team, maybe you can get a quick picture, and then we'll move on to the next team. Okay. First, I would like to introduce our boys volleyball coach, Coach Jim Biolsi, White Division Coach of the Year. Volleyball team were division champions.
It's a great honor to be here tonight with so many great athletes, great coaches, and great teams. As Coach Mr. Burrell here pointed out, it's a tremendous spring season here. I was very impressed with all the teams and how we did this year. For our team, boys volleyball, as Coach Mr. Morrell announced, we were the White Division champs. This year was kind of a rekindling of our past glory. We had won the White Division championship 5 years in a row, and it had been 5 years since we'd won the White Division. We also won the county that year, and this year we won the White Division again, which was very impressive. We finished with a 9-1 record. I believe we were also the only team to beat a team from the Red Division, which is the higher division with the bigger schools. So the team was very impressive this year, and I'm really proud of the guys that we were able to come back to a little bit of our former glory. Hopefully that will continue in the years to come. We also had 3 players that were selected for being, great volleyball players. If we could start with, please come up here, Caleb Ford. Caleb's a junior. He didn't pick up volleyball till sophomore year, although COVID canceled your freshman year anyway, so it didn't really matter. But he's really picked up the game tremendously well. He had 15 blocks this year, 80 kills. Unfortunately, the last 3 games of the year, he got COVID. So he missed the last 3 games, including the state tournament game. And I really think we would have had a shot to win that game if Caleb was there. But hopefully next year you'll be a healthy year and you'll have a great senior season. So Caleb, before you were all White Division. Congratulations. Another player, a senior, Ariane Jane, please come up. Ariane Jane played setter for the team, which is, I guess, a good analogy would be like quarterback for the football team. He has to be a great leader on the court. He's kind of like a coach on the court. He makes a lot of decisions. He runs the offense, we say. And Ariane did a great job this year. He's somebody that really picked up setting with not a lot of playing time, which is really impressive to do. He really picked it up quickly like Caleb has. So great leadership this year, Ariane, and congratulations on being all White Division. And last but not least, Justin Zapata. Justin was also all-white division, but we had a run of 10 years where we had at least one player make all GMC, which is very hard in Middlesex. Middlesex is the strongest county in the state for boys volleyball. You have Old Bridge, East Brunswick, St. Joe's, teams like that usually dominate not just the county, but the state. We had 10 years in a row, we had at least one player make all GMC, and then last year we didn't have anybody. Well, again, this year we started that tradition again, and Justin was named as one of the top 10 players in all of the Middlesex County, so congratulations, Justin. Justin's a great all-around player. If you ever know volleyball, being able to play both front row and back row is not easy to do. It was a pleasure to be able to have somebody that had his all-around skills. I believe he's also the all-time ace leader for the team. He had over 200 kills this year, and very, very well deserving to be named to such an esteemed team there to be all GMC. It's very difficult to do, so congratulations.
Team was also white division champions, as we know. Next up, I'd like to introduce Coach Tamarana for our girls softball team. Girls softball team were GMC Invitational Tournament winners this year.
Hi, everybody. Thank you guys for having us today. First, I just want to thank you guys, Mr. Morrell, for giving me a chance this year to be varsity coach. We had lost 7 athletes last season. So to come in this year, it was very much a rebuild year. With that came a lot of young athletes that were ready to grow into their positions. Started out, went an entire season 1-16, and then we picked up our pace. From the time we were 1-16 to the time we made it to 2-16, we did not lose a game. Went on to an undefeated postseason. We only let up all of 2 runs in our entire postseason, and we put up well over 25 to go on and be our invitational champs. So the confidence is through the roof. We have lots of plans for this rebuild. We have lots of motivation going forward, and we're looking forward to the next 3 years that all these freshmen get to bring with us. This year, I only had 1 athlete up for all division, but I had several that were nominated. However, this one cannot go unrecognized. She has a total of 50 hits collected. The school record is 116. She's only a sophomore. Her batting average this year was .538, which has broken school history. She came back from an injury. She was not allowed to fully swing through for the first 5 games. Finally, we got the green light, and she came through big time. This year, our all-division athlete was number 11, Victoria Frobacillo.
Next up, I'd like to introduce Coach Mark Blevins for baseball, GMC Coach of the Year, White Division Coach of the Year, GMC champions, state semifinalists, historic season. So, Coach.
Thank you for having us tonight. Sorry, I let the kids go. I didn't know how it went. So some of the kids went, but we've had such an amazing season. We ended up winning the GMC County Tournament for the varsity team, which is unbelievable. First time ever in school history. Take a round of applause for that. We had 3 players recognized on the all-white division team, Jomar Carreras, Omar Carreras, and Zach Konstantinovsky. Omar Carreras and Zach Konstantinovsky also got all county, so that's good for them. And also Zach Konstantinovsky also got pitcher of the year for the entire conference. So besides that, it was amazing coaching these guys. I had such a great time. It was an unbelievable pleasure to be with them every day, practicing games. I think I was more nervous throughout the entire season than they were ever. They just seemed like they were having fun the whole time. But I really enjoyed the time that I had coaching them, and I know I could say the same for Coach Sook. And it was just it was an unbelievable season, and it was historic. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, not bad. 22-10 with, I think, 5 or 6 one-run losses. So a great season, Coach. Thank you, Daniel, for staying. Next up, we'd like to recognize boys lacrosse. Coach Waddell, as we all know, for the third time, is a White Division Sportsmanship Award-winning team.
Hello, folks. Thanks for having us. Thank the board and the administrative team for all your support for lacrosse. As you know, every year is pretty much a rebuilding year for lacrosse here at North Brunswick. But this year, I had some seniors that have been with the program for the past 4, even though we lost the season in 2020. And they really made a difference stepping up to only our second winning season in the past 11 years since I've taken over. We went 11-8. And we had a bunch of milestones reached. I'm not going to go through them all. They're actually too numerous, believe it or not. We had 340 goal scorers. We had face-off milestones. You know, the White Division, this year was the first year of the White Division in the GMC. We split. We finished in second place, but we were competitive in every game that we played this year. And I couldn't be more proud of these guys. The Sportsmanship Award, it's almost a given with this group because they're just nice kids, right? You don't always really want that when you're playing lacrosse. You don't want them to be so nice all the time. But you know what? We'll take it because they deserve it. And they did that by not yelling at the referees, not fighting with players on the other team, not fighting with each other. You know, they just respected the game. They respected the coaches, the officials, even the fans, because we had some fans in the stands that were less than sportsmanlike on certain occasions from other teams. And they never gave into it. They never fought back, responded. They just ignored it. And that goes a long way to how they're going to respond to things as they get older and become young men and then men in their lives. And that's what I'm most proud of. So sportsmanship, you know, some people are like, oh, really? They gave that to the worst team? Not this year. We were far from the worst team in the division and just fine young men. We did have some White Division recognition. We had 5 players earn first team All-White Division. I'm going to bring them up, starting with our freshman phenom, the self-proclaimed ground ball king of the universe. I learned very early on that toss Jack Garbolino with Tootsie Roll, and he will go get that ball for you every time. Give him a big Texas, and the other team better just watch out. So first team as a freshman, this kid stepped in and really did a tremendous job for us. Jack, come on up here, man. Alex Canna, our goalkeeper, is not with us tonight. Had a tremendous season for us despite an early illness in the season and some inconsistencies with his health throughout, but really stepped up, faced a lot of shots, made over 100 saves. He also earned first team All-White Division recognition, as did my 2 senior captains, who I could go on for hours about because they're just great kids, and I've been with them in soccer and lacrosse for the past 4 years. Adyan Kandekar, who was the previously mentioned NJSIA Scholar Athlete of the Year on top of everything else with lacrosse. He got his 250th face-off win this year. He scored several important goals for us, had double assists of goals that he had, and just his positive. And he got yelled at by a referee for cursing in a game. Adion doesn't curse, man. That guy was wrong. And Jack told me so, right, Jack? Right. So, Adion, come on up here, man. Congratulations, buddy. All right. Joe Whalen, my other captain, been with us for a long time, scored over 40 goals this year, and, which is amazing because with Joe, Joe, I don't know if you know this or not, but the reason I yelled at you so much was because you always performed better when you were mad. All right? So I would always tell him, you're not a shooter, you're not a scorer, I don't want you taking shots from me. Joe, stop forcing the issue, and he'd get mad at me, and then he'd be productive on the field. Had a tremendous season. Joe, come on up here, man. We're two-year captain, by the way. And then this next guy played soccer for me, and as I always do in the fall, I say, hey, anybody wants to play lacrosse, come on out. He came out, he played lacrosse. You weren't supposed to quit soccer, though, dude. You weren't supposed to quit. So he really took to lacrosse. Again, he had 40-some-odd goals for us this year. He's a junior, first-team all-white division, and as is very rare here for lacrosse in North Brunswick, because the Middlesex County lacrosse is so tough. First team, all GMC. Nate Rosa, come on down, man. I'm not giving up. I still want you on the soccer field in the fall, bro. I'm not giving up on that, okay? And then the rest of the guys we have here for, we have, oh, thank you. Is it me or is it the mic? They planned that. They wanted it to die because I talk too much. It's okay. All right. We also had some second-team all-white division players. A couple of our players are not here tonight. The Blaska twins, who had tremendous seasons in their own right. Again, Logan had over 40 goals, and Jack did a tremendous job for us. But this next kid, for him to get second-team all-division, it's only his second year playing lacrosse. He was a soccer player for me, another convert, and he just put it all together this year. He worked so hard in the offseason. I'm like, oh, great, he's coming out again. What am I going to do with this kid? What a year on defense. With Jack as the anchor and Farouk out on the wing on defense, we gave up the least amount of goals in my career here as a coach by over 100. So Farouk, come on up here, man. Congrats, man. All right, and then just some other players here from the sportsmanship. Mike Shadid, Tom Delakai, come on, guys. Garrett, Brendan McCarthy, Medeni Albihasan. Gentlemen, we're just going to great. Hey, Garrett, really? You're going to leave me hanging like that in front of all these people? Oh, my goodness. All right. Just a quick picture. Yeah. All right. Guys, come on. Come on, you guys. You have all the problems, correct?
All right. Thanks, guys. Congratulations. Next up, we would like to recognize our GMC Championship Girls Lacrosse team and Coach Porzio.
Because I said so. Mia Gianni. All right, I got my whole squad up here because I wanted everyone to know that every single person standing up here played a huge part in our GMC win. So I just want to make sure that they're recognized. My name is Danielle Porzio. This is my 8th year coaching, girls, being the head coach for girls lacrosse. We had a great season. We ended 14-4. A lot of, if you are into lacrosse, a lot of people didn't think that we were going to win this year. So we really shocked everyone, and it's just such a great group of girls. They're hardworking. A lot of them play 2 or 3 other sports. So they're just great athletes all around. I want actually everyone to say your name and your grade.
Ivana Vadiotakis, freshman.
Ava Gianni, senior. Charlie Warren, senior.
Kelly DiGatano, senior.
Abby Warren, senior.
Sammy Guad, freshman.
Megan Keefe, freshman. Penelope Jones, sophomore.
Amina Cabell, junior. And Shadid, sophomore. Juliana Gallardo, junior.
Lauren Kaprowski, junior.
Katerina Varela, senior.
Mia Gianni, senior.
Nikki Newman, junior.
Tiana Saipot, junior. Genesis Span, senior.
Naomi Saipot, freshman.
We have to work on our speech skills, but another side note is we have 11 seniors, and this is the only, the second senior class in history for girls lacrosse to win 2 GMC championships with their time here at MBTHS. So that's really awesome. All right, we had 4 girls recognized this year for the counties. We have, who's my first? I have Katerina Varelis. Take a step forward. She is a 2-year captain. She made all red division. She ended the season with 17 goals, 13 assists, and 19 draw controls. Good job. Tiana Saipot is a junior, and she's one of our captains as well. She was named to all red division and first team all conference. She had 46 goals, 20 assists, 12 draw controls, and 12 forced turnovers. Kelly DiGatano is a senior. Take a step forward. She was named to all red division and first team all conference. She ended with 40 goals, 16 assists, 44 draw controls, and 48 caused turnovers. She's actually a soccer player. She's going to go play soccer at Monmouth University. So it's just amazing what she does on the lacrosse field and on the soccer field. And last, but of course not least, Genesis Span. She's a captain. Jen is a senior captain. She was named to all red division, first team, all conference, and she was also the GMC Offensive Player of the Year. Her stats are 56 goals, 28 assists, and 107 draw controls. She's going to be playing lacrosse at Delaware State University next year. I just want to thank the board and Mr. Morell and Mr. Neller for having us here tonight, and also congratulations to all the other athletes. It's a huge accomplishment to be a student athlete in general, and to get some awards is also awesome. So congratulations to everyone.
That's going to be tough. Perfect. And to wrap it up, we do have our very successful track team, Coach Grimes. Boys track team is also Sportsmanship Award winners. And they're also going to see 8 individuals go to nationals this year.
Good evening. I'll be brief. I think Mr. Morrell put me last to make sure I hurry up and speak. First, I'd like to congratulate the entire athletic department. It's been a great year for sports in North Brunswick. We're on the map all over the place, so hats off. Okay, I guess I'll just take them in order. It's been a great year this year. This is our second year back from COVID. Last year, we had limited numbers, so this year we actually had a full roster, and we were able to give the state exactly what they expected Raiders to do, and that's dominate. These young athletes here made all conference out of the red division. Right now, the Middlesex County and our state section, Central 4, is considered the toughest section in the state, and that's where we have to reside. But we're not done yet. We made it through sectionals. We're going to Group 4 this weekend, and as Mr. Morrell indicated, down to nationals in Philadelphia next week. So then we'll get to rest. So I'm going to take them in order, starting from, well, this is Coach Montoya. He's just here. Funny story, when he was an athlete here, he skipped this 3 times, so he figured he'd come now to play catch-up. Well, there you go, buddy. So first in line here is one of our seniors. This is Marquise Perry. Most people know him for his exploits on the gridiron, but he's one heck of a runner. This season, he broke our school record for the 110-meter hurdles. That record stood for almost 14 years now. And for his exploits, he's actually run the 110 hurdles at nationals, but he's also the anchor of our county winning 4x100-meter team that's going to be going to states this week and chasing the school record there as well. They're off by .01, so they're motivated to get that bad boy, right? The next young man, you might recognize him for golf, actually. He's been a golf man all this time. So he came out this spring, decided to see if he could run. It turns out he actually can run. He is the third leg on our 4x1, and actually his contribution to the 4x1 was vital. We graduated a pretty good third leg last year. He came in and took us to the next level. So without him, we wouldn't be standing here as a county champs. That's Christian Dawson there. Next is Jayden Myers, another one of those stars of the football field. Can I call you by your nickname? Yeah, well, we call him Guap. They explained to me why they called him Guap. I'm not going to tell you why they call him Guap. It don't make sense to me, but that's what we call him. We call him Guap. He's the consummate lead leg. When he gets out the blocks in the 4x1, it's a wrap. He's explosive out the blocks, and without him, our school record efforts would not be happening. So he's leading us down to nationals. Again, like I said, you know him for football, but he's a vital part of our 4x1. That's Guap. Next is Pearson Jr., or AJ as we call him. Apparently it's a fan club. AJ is a middle distance guy extraordinaire. He is a 400 hurdler who's ranked both in the county and the state in the top 6 in both the 400 hurdles and the 800, being actively recruited by several schools. He is one of the favorites to win the state title this coming weekend, and he's one of the favorites to actually go down to nationals and make All-American as well. That's Andre. Kyla Hawkins was a late bloomer for track and field. People have known her for soccer her whole life, but turns out she's one heck of a high jumper and hurdler as well. She's also a javelin thrower, as she combined with the next young lady to win the county javelin title this year and break the school record for the javelin relay. She is now all conference, and unfortunately her season is done, but we wouldn't be standing here also without her contribution. So we look forward to seeing what she does more in the future, and that's Kyla. The next one is Alessandra Cologne, another athlete who is known for other sports. Apparently she is really good on the hot corner, as her father puts it. That's third base, right? Okay, yeah, third base in softball, but she came out to hang out with us this spring, and it turns out the javelin is something that is really just like, she's like a duck to water with it. She's #1 in the county. She is the state sectional champion, throwing out over 119 feet. She's one of the favorites for nationals in 2 weeks, and she's one of the favorites this weekend. And that's just one season, and she's only a junior. I can't see what's going to happen next year. And last but not least is our young buck, Yaralise. I won't use the full government. I promised I won't use it. She is just a freshman, but right now she is #3 in the county in the 100 hurdles, #5 in the county in the 400 hurdles. But overall, in the state for freshmen, she is #3 in the state, and she's #20 nationally. And she qualified for Group 4 this past week in 2 events, and she's one of the favorites to win the freshman national title in 2 events in another 2 weeks. So we're really excited. When you have a freshman that good, as you can see, I'm smiling big because I got 3 years. Get used to that face. It's going to be here for a while. I'm sorry, there's one gentleman who's not here. I'm sure I'll hear about it if I don't mention him. Zamir Dawood, he had a football camp this evening. He is the second leg on that 4x1, but he also is dynamic as he broke the school record in the 100. So he's the young man who's not here, but this represents him. He's actually now the fastest in school history. I'm smiling big about him as well because right now he's just the fastest in school history. He's a junior. He's going to be the fastest in county history this time next year.
Yeah, the girls' team beat you guys on the photo op, so you guys could do better.
Thank you again to all the families who support our athletes.
Congratulations to all of our athletes. Mr. Duran Harris is going to read a quick proclamation for you guys as you head out the door.
The board would like to make a resolution to honor the student athletes, coaches, and individual athletic teams. Be it resolved by the Board of Education that the following resolution be approved. Whereas the Board of Education recognizes the efforts of our student athletes to perform at their highest level of interscholastic competition, it also recognizes the accomplishment of exceptional achievement, and whereas through leadership of their coaches and with a firm determination to be diligent while preserving excellence, they stand among their peers and represent the North Brunswick Township School District in an exemplary manner. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this public acclaim be given to the NBTHS student athletes and coaches for their individual honors, and the NBTHS individual athletic teams for their accomplishment. And be it further resolved that NBTHS student athletes, coaches, and individual athletic teams shall be recognized appropriately, and that a copy of this resolution be spread in the permanent minutes of the board. I'd also like to thank Mr. Neller and the rest of his team for hosting us tonight. We thank you for all your hard work and effort. Great work here at the high school, and we look forward to seeing you next week at graduation. Thank you.
Mr. Neller, did you want to introduce our person? Our new AP?
Oh,
yeah.
Do I need to mic or?
Yeah, if you want to stand up here.
Okay. We do have a special guest this evening. It's bittersweet, but after 29 years at NBTHS, we're not going to recognize you tonight. Don't give me that look. But after 29 years, Susanna Stinley Palazzo is retiring. She has been an assistant principal at MBTHS since 2002, and we will truly miss her next year. But we do have the opportunity tonight to introduce our new assistant principal who will be replacing her on July 1. And she came tonight to be part of our State of the School presentation. So I do want to introduce Mrs. Radia Gamble.
Ms. Gamble, or just tell us a little bit about yourself? It's always been a tradition. Come on up. Always been a nice tradition to have administrators come and new staff members, especially administrators, come so the board can faces and get welcome you to the Brunswick family.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Oh, sorry, didn't know it was so loud. Good evening, everybody. My name is Radia Gamble. I am originally from Philly. I've grown up in different states, and I am happy to be a part of the new family here. I come from Woodbridge. High school, I've taught over 20-something years at Woodbridge High School, and I'm just happy to be here. I didn't know I was supposed to speak. I don't know what else. I would have prepared a speech. But I have a passion for children. I love working with children. I'm really excited to be here with my new family, and just thank you for having me. I am a board member as well in my township. I live in Mansfield Township, and I sit on the board. I used to be a board member in Mansfield School District, which is the elementary school, and I'm a current board member now in Northern Burlington that services the middle school and the high school. So thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Any other business?
No other business.
Okay. At this time, then, we'll have a review of the rest of our agenda. The board does get a copy of the agenda in advance of the meeting, but we'll also just review it should there be any additional questions. We are currently on, let's see, I guess 3, yeah, sorry. And we'll review page 4 and 5, and page 6. Any questions from the board? At this time, then, we'll have a public session. This is on agenda items only. So if you have any questions or comments for the board for agenda items, we ask that you just come up to the podium, sign in, and state your name. Seeing that there are none, may I please have a motion to close the public portion of the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This public portion of the meeting is now closed.
Thank you. Ms. Keefe, can you please take item number 9?
Yes, Mr. President. I would like to make a motion to approve the following consent agenda items, personnel and finance as listed.
Second.
Thank you.
Mr. Brockman? Mr. Duran-Harris?
Yes.
Ms. James?
Yes.
Ms. Keith?
Yes.
Mr. Liguori? Dr. Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Toth? Mr. Wen?
Yes.
Ms. Zulik?
Yes.
The motions on the agenda pass.
Thank you. At this time, we'll open up to public session. This is for any matter. So again, if you'd like to address the board, any questions or comments, we ask that you come up to the podium, sign in, and state your name. Seeing that there are none, may I please have a motion to close the public portion of the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The public portion of the meeting is now closed.
Thank you. At this time, we'll be going into closed session. I'll be reading a motion. Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas the public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presented exist, now therefore be it resolved by the North Brunswick Township Board of Education that the public shall be excluded from discussion of and action upon the hereinafter specified subject matters. The general nature of the subject matter to be discussed is as follows: student matters. It is anticipated at this time that the above stated subject matter shall be made public at such time as the need for non-disclosure no longer exists. This resolution shall take effect immediately. May I please have a motion to go into closed session?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are now in closed session.
May I please have a motion to return to open session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are now back in open session.
Thank you. And Ms. James, can you please read your motion?
Sure. I move to uphold the administration's determination in HIB matter 2277-94_JAE_0204, 2022.
Mr. Brockman? Mr. Duran Harris?
Yes.
Ms. James?
Yes.
Ms. Keefe?
Yes.
Mr. Liguori? Dr. Patel? Ms. Toth? Mr. Wen?
Yes.
Ms. Zolik?
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you. And finally, may I please have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.